Hello, fine folks, and welcome to Bogey Plays. Today, uh, uh, we're not playing. We're doing a top ten worker movement games. That means uh, games with workers that move. Not exactly. So I'm not alone. It's going to be, as always, um, A2 Way Street. So I'm going to be with Mr. Radu. Welcome, Mr. Radu.
Ah, good morning, everyone. We are not moving, but we are working.
We're not moving. So this is I don't know how it is in English, but in Romania it's the Big Friday or the Holy Friday, something like that.
Oh,
When Jesus was killed so that
it's the
he
passions today, I think.
or something, I don't know. No, this is the
Yeah,
and then he will or no or was it Thursday and then he was from Saturday to I have to
I think it was crucified, but we just pretend to know all these things. We're religious and all.
I so when I was very young, I used to have a the children's Bible, which
Ooh,
I've
therapy
read.
time. Okay, so this is where we reveal our deepest inner traumas.
Exactly. So I used to have this because we had religion in schools. This was a class, and we studied the Bible. Studied the Bible if you want. But I had good religion teachers, and they were um, good classes because you got only the highest grade, and because of that, your average was always higher because of classes like these.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I had a pretty good. I mean, our teachers were priests usually,
The good ones.
and they were quite funny. I had a teacher that, for example, had he grew up after the First World War, so he grew up in the 40s and or beginning of 50s, and he found in his own backyard a small bomb, and that bomb detonated, so he had two fingers less. So we asked him at some point, why do you have two fingers less? Why do we are used to people having five fingers? And he had these two uh like in half or something, and I will always remember him because of that. So that's good, right? You remember a teacher for something. So um uh
Okay.
we're getting ready for Easter and worker movement. Easter Easter has become a holiday where people drink and eat. I don't think um
We're just looking forward to not going to work.
or something like that, yeah. Uh but I for one I needed time off. Today I slept. I usually slept. I go out at bed at 2 and I wake up at 8. So last night, today I woke up at 10 this hour. So I've slept full 8 hours. That's something that I haven't done in months, I believe.
So this is your idea of timeout.
This is my idea of timeout apparently, but I had to do these because we're on a schedule. We should have done this on Wednesday, but you weren't ready, and I said, okay, if you're not ready, I'm gonna finish to do all the changes, do all the migration of data from the old computer to the new one to make things work. So I'm stalling here a bit. Maybe some people will come with us. I want to say hello to anyone who might join us on this on this glorious, glorious day.
It's quite sunny.
It is, isn't it?
There's no excuse for not being with us today.
Absolutely no excuse. So yeah. How should I put it? I think I'm gonna place it like this. It's a bit better.
You should cover your face.
That's quite
People
a
are listening to us
in podcast mode.
podcast version. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? But yeah. So top 10 worker movement games. What was your criteria of choice?
Finding 10 games that are not worker placement. Okay, let's go down the list. Does this work? And this is very worker placement adjacent. We've done worker placement top 10 already. So I've been trying to search for 10 different or games that do worker movement
Sorry for that.
differently, because it's almost just pick your choice. It's quite abundant, right? So
What is
I've
abundant? The worker placements.
worker placement and worker movement. If you want to get away with cheating and saying, "Oh well, you place a worker, it kind of moves there," and say, "Yeah, it works." But I've been looking for specific things on games that are kind of in all ranges and complexities.
I see.
And I haven't talked about these in a while, I think. So
I have 10 games. For me, this was a quite a hard list to make. I had um on my final list, I had around 25 games, 30 games that have worker movement in it. And but some of them were not exactly driven by worker movement. It had worker movement as a mechanism, which yeah, drives the game, though these actions do drive the game. But I tried to pick up the games that are driven by the worker movement mechanism.
okay,
So
someone's gonna get disqualified really soon.
oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, you do that.
But that's my job, my friend.
Yeah,
I have to disqualify
you
them.
have to educate.
So, without further ado, I would say, dude, let's open the TVs.
Let's do it.
Oh, sorry, not here. Let's open the TV. Okay. Let's hope that the other one is there. And I'm going for. I think I'm gonna. Should I let you with your number one? Be the last?
I should not finish my top 10. You should have the last word, because mine is a darling of mine that I just could not put it on number one.
Okay, there's something cuts the sound when you're moving. You're moving the mouse or something, and it cuts the sound. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm moving the mouse. Sorry.
I don't know why. I don't know why. It cuts the sound a tiny bit. Hopefully just for me, not for yourself too. And it happened at some point. I don't know why.
Okay.
I hope everything will be fine. So it seems to be all right. The Skype seems to be all right. Let's hope it's going to be fine. So if somebody was with us and sound seems fine to me, this says. If some it's fine to her, it should be fine to all of you.
Just you.
I'm fine with it. I'm not listening to you anyway. So let's go to.
I should start, right? If you want to finish.
Number 10, and your number 10 is.
So, like you said, Yeah, you were looking for board games that are driven by this worker movement. Mine is just an action that you can take in this game. But the twist of this and why I picked it is because we all move Mozart and we just shove him back and forth and go play there, go to that country at that city. And
It's
yeah, this is
Lacrimosa, right?
Lacrimosa.
Uh,
So
uh, now,
it's worker movement. Come on.
no, it is not.
It is.
Eh, you do not have a worker. You don't
It's
move it.
not yours, but this is why I found it intriguing that everyone's worker.
So
Mozart is for everyone.
yeah, this
Ah,
is.
keep
Man,
an open mind,
I
man.
really like this game. I think this is a very cool game. And
I think it got a lot of buzz when it came out, and then it just fizzled out. Just
so
everyone bought it, talked about it for a week, and then old news.
no, I think the main issue with it is it didn't came out with an expansion, and I think its shelf life was limited with its replayability. I played it once and I kind of saw it. So I think here is where the game's Achilles heel is. But should I'm trying not to put my distaste of the way Devere treats us, uh, and and say that I this is not a worker movement game. This is a game
No,
driven
it's
by cards, and you do not have a worker that you move. But
can you?
it does have
All right,
a five
there's a big
a
part
a
of the
five
main
percent.
board.
It's
Can I? It's my number 10. Look at that
I
big board.
I
How Mozart is on that map, and one of your cards has a working or a
one of
card
your
that
cards. One of
yes,
your cards. One of
it
your
doesn't have to be the
six,
entire
seven,
game.
eight.
Ooh, I'm moving the
This
entire
is a
game.
deck building game. It's a deck building game which has a small
It's
worker
just
movement.
this is just number 10. Are we gonna quarrel from the get-go?
I do hope your picks get better.
I know. I should have our audience to back me up because I do feel strongly that there is an element of worker movement that we all get to share, not just selfishly. Oh, this is my worker. I will move there. I will kick you out. I will block your space. No, this is I'm moving him. Everyone can enjoy his music. Point. Let's move on.
Everyone, let's enjoy this music. Points. You can hear him making music with points. 1 point, 2 point, ping, ping, ping. So that is your number 10. I highly disagree. My number 10 is a proper worker movement game.
Here we go.
Because, and why do I say that? What does a worker movement game do? Well, you have one worker, or two workers, or three workers, which you move from turn to turn, and you will take an action. Let me school you.
Oh my god. So you're gonna invalidate my entire list?
Well, if I started, I should start it with number 10, right?
Oh,
Let's start
man.
from the beginning. Let's create the whatever it's needed. So, then again, as I was saying, the I don't think Radu got the right brief, says the
Thank you, D. I know you're team red, but V, Marcus, come on, man, wake up.
They're asleep, man, at this hour.
We need you. I need you guys.
So the number or someone else, but someone else help Radu. I'm team blue. You're green.
I'm shouting in the void.
Okay. D says you're team blue. You're team blue. You're team green. She is team blue. So As I was saying, my number 10 is a proper game about with worker movement. It's a game that came out in 2023. It's one of the surprises of 2023 for me. And it's a game that did not get a lot of buzz, although it got good reviews, I think. It didn't get any bad reviews. It's a game that I would highly recommend playing with two players, not more, because it's a pretty thinky game. And it's a game that, well, uses a mechanism that we all love. The game is called Carvey. Uh, it's a game about um Norwegians, something, Northerners, something, pillaging, something.
Something.
Uh, this is a wonderful, wonderful rondel in a way. It has a sort of a rondel game. And on this, where does the work? Your workers are numbered. They are dice. They could have had a number. So your workers have a number from 1 to 6, and these numbers represent the numbers of beers that they have that you gave them at the beginning of the round, and those beers. You consume those beers depending on the place that you land. So what do you do on this game? You start on this tile here, and then you move wherever you want to. You can go all the way back. It's not a smart move, but you can do it. Where you land, you'll do the action. It's as simple as that. You take
So
resources.
your
You
workers are dice
Your workers are dice. Yes, they're not dice. They could have been workers, but they needed
to have 6 faces.
to
right?
to have, yeah, because you can give them up to 6 beers when you're here. You can give them up to 6 beers, and then you're going to deplete those beers.
Hmm.
That's why they made them dice. And when you come. On this yellow you do certain actions, on the red you do an action, on the green you do an action, on the blue you do an action, and then it's the Glenmore mechanism where the last one is the first one. So you can jump as far as you want to, but don't do it. Just
All right.
towards the end of the game, it will start. The game has 3 rounds. And round end, if I remember correctly, I have not played this game in a while, and I kind of want to. So you jump, and when you come back on this one, the round ends. Then there's another round. I think it's 3 rounds. Yeah. And at the end of those 3, and then you do things, and then you start doing things on the board where you move your ship and you take tiles, you do some set collecting, you score points, get resources from the board, you do some nice combos. This is a pretty good game, that a pretty good Euro game that came out, like I said, in 2023, that we've made a playthrough for. That is a lot of fun and thinky. Highly, if you can find this one and try to give it a go. You also have coverage.
Pretzels.
Pretzels, yeah, you also have pretzels. Pretzels are the food for your ships. It has pretty cool pieces. These ships are cardboard, but they're pretty cool.
What do pretzels have to do with Vikings?
Well, you give pretzels to the ships. They're not pretzels. They're rations that you put on the ship, and then when you
Yeah.
move, you deplete those rations. Uh,
The beginning of donuts.
Donuts, yeah. Donuts, yeah. So this is a quite a fun game, which I recommend if you can try and find it. This game, it has a lot of playing with. You can play cards, a lot of cards, and you can do things with cards. And playing cards is a big part of this game. Highly recommend it to try at least. I really like it. I had a lot of fun playing it. It's in the library, I think. People
It
could
was.
play. So
I looked at it excessively
it's
because
not.
it was on my list. It is on my list to play. I want to play this quite bad. So I will not trash your number 10.
You can
Although it's dice movement, not worker movement.
No, it's a worker move. It's not dice movement.
Come on.
Nope,
Okay.
it's worker. They could have placed. I could have placed a worker with 6 beers on it, but it would have been very complicated to do
Okay, I
that.
see you're on the defensive.
No, I'm not. I'm on the offensive, my friend. With
Oh
your,
yeah.
with your, I have
Okay,
a,
keep on kicking me down.
I
My
have a
number.
2% worker placement mechanism in my. Shut up. What's your? Let's see if your number 10 is a better pick. Number 9. Sorry.
I think you're. This is at least you have your own workers. Okay, let's start there.
Okay.
I have no idea how you do this, but because I played this once, it was when it came out, and it's Darwin's Journey. Okay, it's again, there's a boat
I mean,
or a
I
part
have
of the map moving.
considered this, but this is a worker placement game.
No,
It has
it has both of them.
it
This
has
is where
worker
I
movement, but I will give you this. Compared to Lacrimosa, this
more.
is more of a this is 30% more of a worker placement game than Lacrimosa was.
Okay, so
Maybe
I do get a
40.
pass.
Maybe
I get a
40.
pass. So if you like
You
worker placement
you
and worker movement,
barely pass. You barely pass. But
okay. My list will get better or worse depending. So yeah, you have half of the board that's dedicated to the Beagle's journey. Is it the Beagle? I think so.
yes.
And that's where you can drop off your explorers, and then it just branches out into these, forking, branching roads that you can take, paths.
Yes.
And
yes.
then you get bonuses, and you collect your specimens that then you can send them back to the, whatever museum in London that. Yeah, anything. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, on your player board mainly.
Yeah, and just go there. Ooh, I found 3 money on the floor. Mine. Or ooh, I can put a tent down. Now no one else can go there. And all those shenanigans, and who goes there first might get a. It's a race, to get to those spots because they're limited, and you need them for. I think it's set collection, or you need certain specimen to reach a number of points and all that. So it's quite an involved game, and it requires multiple steps for you to get there. But
I agree.
Yeah, so it's quite long to explain, but at least you have worker movement there.
Yes. It's good that you're trying to support your number 9. I'll go to mine. Let's go to another proper worker movement game.
Okay.
No, I highly agree.
Here.
I highly agree of the game. The game is quite good. But again, the worker movement is a part. But it's a this at least on this one you get a pass.
Okay.
You barely get. You step a foot. You're a foot.
Thank you.
My number 9 again is a proper worker movement game. You move a worker, and then you do an action there.
One thing, could you pass me your short list so I can pick from those? So
I don't know if you've played all of it.
Okay, go on.
So my number 9 is the cool game of Viscounting and moving and doing an action, and Viscounting and moving and doing an action. It's called Viscounts of the West Kingdom. In my opinion, this is one of the best base games made by Garphill Games. You do not need the expansion to enjoy this one, unlike other of their titles. This one is as base is very good, and it is it's a very cool game. I do like the expansions because they add more, and they add some new boards which are cardboard, are not those flimsy cardstock, and then yeah, they add a few more things which I find good for replayability.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is a very fun game where you have one worker which you move from round to round. You go to a spot, you do the actions there. This is
I
pretty
think I
much.
think I had this one on my worker placement game.
No, I don't think you had Viscounts on your worker placement one.
I know I've placed it somewhere, but I think it's
But this is
best boards, I think.
best boards, yeah, or interesting boards. This is, my friend, worker movement. You move your worker. You do not. Worker placement is place your workers, take it back.
Yeah.
This is
Okay.
pretty much worker placement. Let me school you.
Thank
Slowly.
you. Notes
That,
taken.
you should start writing. Worker movement is you take that worker from there and you move it somewhere else, and then you do the action of the new spot that you get on the new spot that you arrive on, or from the new spot that you arrive on. Uh,
Um,
so this is my number 9. I think
yeah,
it's one of the best. If you do not want to buy and you do not like buying expansions by Viscounts, I think it is one of the best of their base games. This Scholars, I think this and Scholars are the best ones. Cool. Let's go
great.
to number 8.
Wow.
Let's
Nice pick,
let's
Edu.
So, Radu, you are barely a 5 now. You barely passed with one title. I want to see your number 8. Listen.
So, my number 8, it closely resembles my number 9 a bit.
Yes.
Well, I kind of,
Voyages of
because
Marco Polo.
no, that's a dice placement, I think. Okay, so I think because both of them have these very
Yeah, it's worker placement with moving your worker on the central board. Does it ring any bell? Darwin's Journey. But now you have 3 boards. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Is it me?
Yes.
Is it me? Okay. So this one is another very important personality in history, a scientist and all that. So I think we should pay homage to Newton.
Oh.
Is it a worker movement game? Please give me something to latch onto, because it has 2 boards. Okay, you have a tech tree. Okay, you have a tech tree where you send your students to grow, to pick up stuff, to maximize on their knowledge. Okay, he's quiet. And then there's the Euro board where you go from city to city and you try to gather your stuff.
Yes.
Okay, is it worker movement?
Yes, it is.
I think
yes,
it's
it
more
is.
than 50%.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I'm growing. I have a 6
No.
now.
This is a good pass. This is it. Yes.
Ooh,
Yes,
I've
yes.
impressed the big orange man. Oh, finally. It does have more stuff to it. It does have card, play, and you kind of trigger your movement on the board by placing cards. And it just amplifies because you have to look at how many icons you have, right? So the more you have, the better the action. It's a very neat way of playing cards in your drawer, and they, one goes on top, one underneath. It feels like Lacrimosa borrowed something a bit from here, because you use the top and bottom.
It's a nice puzzle to have.
It is, and it has, you get points from filling your bookshelf. I don't know why, but you can do that. And then, get points in various ways and brew potions.
And
Okay.
but yeah, I'm here with you. The game has absolutely no theme, um, absolutely no theme. But
But you are moving
it's
pawns.
one. Yeah, you move on two boards. You move on two
Yeah.
boards. And you have yeah, you have two workers that you can move. I think it's two or more. You have more. You have
On one board, you can start another track because
yeah.
you cannot go on the same one. There are three paths and they're branching, so you can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
But the main worker movement is the one where you explore and
yeah
you go from
the
town to
Europe map.
town
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you leave. So this is I I highly I highly rate this game. I love this little game. I think it's one heck of a game. I wouldn't say it's not necessarily, but the worker movement part is it can be a big part of the game, so that's why you're getting a pass from me.
Yes, nice. Okay, you heard it here first. Okay, so if we both think this is a
I'm not
it's
saying it's a
worth.
worker movement, but the game is worth it every cent.
Okay, okay, good. I'm back on track.
Let's go to. I mean, you started at 2%, you went to 30. Now you're close to 50.
Good.
Maybe starting to pass. Number 7, right? My number 7
Yeah.
is a game. Do I have? Yes. Oh, sorry. We were at 9. Why did
No. What?
we were at 9?
No.
Did you start? So
I started with Lacrimosa, then my 8 Darwin, and now my 7 is Newton. So you should have your 7.
sorry, did I do my 8?
What was your 8?
My 9 was Viscounts, and I should do my 8. Sorry.
Really?
Yes,
No, we had Carvey on 10, or 9 was Viscounts, and on 8,
I should do my 8, right?
yeah,
I should do my 8. What did you
I don't know.
did you do your 7 already?
I think I 9. Okay, 10, 8, 9, 8. No, we're an 8. We're
We're on
not at
8.
7.
Sorry, I'm the idiot here. I wanted to move too fast.
Too fast and too furious.
My number 8 is a game that I don't know why in my head I was the one that was supposed to go first. Um, so my number 8 is another, but here you have more workers, which you will send on islands, and then you're gonna move them from island to island in order to do actions. Can you guess the
I don't
game?
know this game. I don't know it.
The game is called Luna. Is
Oh,
Stefan Feld's Luna. You have a lot of workers, not a lot, but you have a few workers that you will move from island to island to to build shrines. Take some of these bonus tiles. These bonus tiles will allow you to do certain actions. Build shrines to then place the workers in the end here uh, in order to score points at the end of the game. This is one of Stefan Feld's best games, in my opinion. It has and I do hope that Queen Games do not redo this one, but I don't care in the end. I do have the TMG version, which looks great. So yeah. So as I said, what do? You take these workers, after you use them, you set them in the sea, let them relax in the sea, and then you can move it. There can come a tide, move them on another island. From another island, you will take another tile, use that tile, place it back, move around these islands to score points on the main island, which is a monastery. or something, if I remember correctly. I've not played this game in 4 years, I think.
Mhm.
This says that she sees progress on your list. And yeah, and here is a and they've made it less mean with the TMG version because you can dislodge a worker. You place worker here in the end, and you can dislodge someone else's worker, but he can take him back and he can place it backwards on another tile, and it becomes a more interesting game of I will place this one here, and you might take it off, and then I might place another one, and then you can do nothing about it. This is like I said, one of Stefan Feld's best games, in my opinion. It's easy to learn. It's more about what other players do than what you only do. Yeah. And you do not have only one. You have multiple workers that you move around those islands to take certain tiles that will grant you actions, as worker movement should do.
Yeah, worker movement, worker placement, kind of
Yeah.
the same one in this one. But you always talked about this game, so I know you care for it a lot.
I really like this game. It's fun. It's fun and it's smart and it works
So
well
that
at
was
2
your
or 3.
8, right?
Yes, let's go to 7.
So
Let's do
7.
like
I
this.
might drop from your graces again
Oh, give
because
it to me so I can give it to you back.
this is part of the game, but not the main thing. It's just getting
Oh, like
bonuses. It's allows you to move down. It's Coimbra. So you have your what's his? It's not a priest. It's a monk that moves on a
It's
map that allows you
man.
to gather end game scoring
Do you have the royal treatment?
opportunities. What?
Do you have the royal treatment? The small expansion?
No, I don't. It just adds dice, I think.
Yeah, I want to have that one.
Yeah.
Coimbra is a great game. I love it. I love its artwork. I think it looks really cool, and it
Yeah,
does.
yeah, yeah.
And it does have worker movement, which
It's one of the 4 things you can do in this game, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's 25%.
Yeah. I'm starting to think that in the last come on, in the last three numbers, 8 from the, I don't know if from the, what was your number 10?
Lacrimosa.
You had Latin designers. So on these you had Italians. On the last 9, 8, 7 were Italians. The first one was something happens there in
Oh, well,
Italy and
yeah.
Spain. They like worker movement. They like to move.
We are colonizers. We know what we're doing. We're just
Oh
moving
yeah.
from spot to spot. Just
Dude, you want to think you're Spanish, but you're Romanian. You're usually used to be at home and take it from the colonizers.
Yeah, the
You're
Romans,
from Transylvania.
the Turks, the Hungarians, the
Yes.
Austrians. Which one? We else? Even from our own people. So it's fine. But going back to Coimbra, and it's a nice thing you've spotted that I didn't consider my list as being all Latins, but good spot.
So here on this board, you have a worker that you move around and you take the tiles, and I don't know if you do that.
You don't take, you just activate it.
You activate,
and
okay,
you
yeah.
put a disc down, and the more you have, the bigger the better your score is at the end of the game.
Yeah.
So you're moving up a track that allows you to move further, and while you land on this certain spots, you get certain benefits, either putting diplomas or triggering a card, all that. So yeah, I would recommend this. Not for the worker movement part, but for the
This
entire
is a dice placement game, where
with
this is a dice placement. I mean, the dice placement
yeah.
drives
What was
drives.
Carvey? Come on.
It's not a no. In Carvey, it's a
I'm just
worker
trying
movement.
to stab you with something. Just give me a. Let's move to number 7. You're
I
number
mean,
7.
I mean, your stabbing knife is a
A blunt blade. I know. I know.
no. It's a pencil which has not even been sharpened.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I'm
uh,
glad it makes you happy.
this is not a, but it does have worker movement as so I think I'm just going to just relax and go for the ride because your list is completely invalidated. If you want to learn worker movement, look at my list. If you want to know some games that have worker movement, look at Radu's list.
Thank you. This is why you have me on the show. To be wrong.
So let me school you again with another worker movement game, which is
I'm taking notes.
believe
Thank
it
you.
or not, it's another TMG title,
That is cool.
and it's a game where you have a fatty and very small workers, and then you place workers, and then you move the fatty where you want him to do the most, where you can do the most of it. The game is called Yokohama. And have you played Yokohama, my friend?
I did not.
This is the new edition from the Synapses something. Which I have the older one. I did a playthrough for it a few years ago. I really like this game. It's fun. There are some people who say that if you're first, you have an advantage or something like that. I'm not seeing that. I have not. I've played it enough to. Yeah, I think this is a game made by Japanese, so Japanese people, you they put when they put something out, they're sure they're putting something out. Um, it's a Hisashi Hayashi design. It's a game where you have, I don't know. Let me see if I can find. You have this one, and the bigger worker, and you have smaller assistants. You in on your turn you place an assistant or more assistants. I hate the fact that you have so many of these. Please give me one with the board. Yeah, sure. I really want to see the people. I don't want. Yes. At least now I can look at the board. So you have all of these spaces, and then you lay assistants here, and you will do a line of assistants, and you can move through that line of assistants with your big chief, and you land on these spots, and you count how many the chief plus the assistants, and that will give you power on your action. And the more assistants and the chief you have, the more assistants you have, the more powerful the action is, the more bigger the payoff is. But you have to be careful because another player might. There are some limited spots here where you can place certain buildings, and you have to be very careful that another player does not take whatever you want to be taken. Really enjoyed this game. I think it's fun. I have seen the new edition. I'm gonna try to maybe get a copy for the library and for the channel to do a playthrough and do a comparison between those two. I think it's an excellent game that needs a bit more attention, and it is a proper worker movement game.
Yeah, I just realized that your list is more of abstract worker movement. Yeah, you're moving them from one part of the other, but mine is just follow this line and you will get there eventually. So yeah, I can't say a lot about this one because I haven't played it. So
Yes, Because my list is about worker movement. It's not abstracted. Everything is
Okay,
very
are you
clearly on
gonna
what you do.
continuously shatter my self-esteem?
Of course.
By the time I get to my
This
number
is
one, I will be so frustrated that I cannot even name it. Come on.
my yes. This is my job here. If I can do it, I'm gonna stomp on you with both of my feet.
Oh, yeah. I'm kind of a masochist. Everyone should know that I really enjoy pain. And
So
okay,
number
I'm getting
six.
here regularly. My number six. It's the first one that's kind of it does things differently. Okay, you are moving on a 4x4 grid, and I think this one you actually like it too. I think
This is a 4x4 and 5x5 with the expansion, right?
I don't know about the expansion. Uh, but I think we did play it on stream with everything.
And it was a
Uh,
5x5, I believe.
okay.
And I think it is. Uh, uh, I think it starts with an I,
Yeah.
and this is your first and proper worker movement game.
Okay. This is a big boost in my confidence. I will. This is. It's presented as being not gateway, but being easy. I don't find it easy. It's
It's easy
it's
to
easy to
learn.
play,
Easy to learn, easy
okay,
to play.
but it's not easy to teach. I think you have to explain each spot individually, right? But once you get there, why are you laughing?
Because D just sent you a medal and says, "Congrats, Radu. You have a medal on your number
Yay!
6."
It only took me 4 games to get here, but yeah, thank you.
Okay, move on.
I'll
Sorry for
take what
that.
I get.
Sorry for that.
So
Move on.
the twist in this one is that you have a stack of
Yes.
discs that represent the workforce, and you move from one spot to the other, and where you land, you drop one off, and you do what the spot says. So 16 spots. They do different things. You just get stuff.
Yeah, you get
Mm,
resources in order to get points, but not get points. And this is where the game is interesting. That you get an end game um, um, objective is to get a certain number of these rubies.
rubies.
So it's not about scoring points; it's
It's not.
about getting
It's a
rubies.
race,
Yeah,
right? Who gets to 5 or 6?
5 or 6. Yeah, and it depends with the expansion. I think the expansions. I think it add one more.
Hmm. So yeah, you can actually see how many do you have? How long does it take for because we're kind of everything is out on the table, everything's transparent. We kind of walk the same path, the same actions. You can go on the same spot, but you have to pay that player. There are other pawns that do other things, but I think this is a very good light entry into the board game. It's just the board game hobby.
Now, I would say this is a next step game. This for me,
Is
this
it?
is not a gateway game. No, I would never use it in a gateway situation. I have other games that I can play in gateway
Okay.
situations. This one is more of a next step game, which I highly recommend as a next step game.
Yeah. Well, I've seen this one being whipped out as let's try out a board game,
This
and this is kind of a
this is Spiel des Jahres, Spiel Game of the Year of 2013, right?
really
It beat
okay.
I think it beat Concordia, if I remember correctly. 2013 or 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that you approve.
And I
And
will
I'm keeping my medal. I might lose it later.
and I'm really keeping with you because my number 6 is a game where you'll have a stack of workers and then you
Yeah.
will move that stack of workers. Where you land, you leave one of those workers there and do the action.
Really? Is it
Really.
the same game?
Really. Is Istanbul. My number 6 is Istanbul. Um
Are you kidding me? On the same spot? You have the same
no,
game?
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. It's an overlap. Yeah. Uh
Wow.
so Istanbul is, I mean, in a way, Yokohama riffs on Istanbul. Um, because it was the first one who did this on, you have a variable board and which you set up at the beginning of the game, and then you take those workers and you move those workers, and then you have to, unlike Yokohama, here you can trace and retrace your steps, which is really cool, because in Yokohama, after you place your workers, you take all those assistants back. And there is your workers are a resource in itself. How many you send, it will bring back resources. But if you leave them there, you're gonna have less workers to place. So in here, it's also, you also have resource, but when you place it, you can retrace your steps in order to do actions in a very efficient way. And this is what I really like about this game is how can I do my path is impossible to go trace and retrace. In the base game, I think it's possible, but if you add expansions and you make that 5x4 or 5x5 board, then it's not possible anymore, and that's why you have 2 more workers. That's why you have your dumb cousin who always gets into jail, and the other one who's a thief,
A smuggler and an ambassador
or something.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like this game. I cannot sing its praises enough. I think it's a classic. It's 10, 11 years old now. It's a classic for a reason, and I think it's one of the first games that did this worker movement action mechanism more prevalent, to put it in front of us as gamers. I have always enjoyed this game. I do think Mocha and Bakshish is a good expansion. The other one is take it or leave it, but it's still good. It's still good. All of its content is good. And I do like the bigger board, and I do like more tiles and more variety and so on and so forth.
So your recommendation, go big box.
Go big box. Yeah. It's an easy recommendation. Go big box. And if you still find the big, I think in Romania, you can still find the big box in Romanian.
Yeah, it's for everything you said, it's a classic that's worth having, and it goes well with all kinds of groups and ages. So yeah, it's a family game that everyone should have. All right,
family plus, I'd say. Let's go to number 5, right?
Ooh, number 5. This is I put these closer together because of this. It was flipped at some point. This one was on 6 and the other one was on 5, but I think they are close enough, and a game that we all enjoy and we have started a series of. You just mentioned it in passing. So we are just trading
Concordia, right?
stuff. Yeah, we are just creating outposts and trading posts in the Roman Empire, and just having presence and triggering those regions to get the resources you need in order to pay for other places that you want to go and conquer.
So this is, and I will tell you what I think.
Is this a worker movement game? Let's start there.
You think this is a worker movement because you move your worker on the map, right?
Yeah. Well, and boats. You have people and boats. I'm just trying to make my case more.
So I think this could have probably been a worker movement game if if Mr. Mac Gertz would have made a proper rondel. This became a hand management and uh, action selection mechanism, which you select actions by playing cards, which he hid the rondel with cards because he could have done the rondel on the board, place a worker there, and then you choose actions with that and leave a trace of the actions you want to do.
Yeah.
You could have done it that way too, and then it would have probably could have become more of a worker movement game.
So yeah, this is more of a have your own spider's web, controlling different ports and cities. I get what you're saying, and the worker movement is just a part, just one card that allows
Yeah,
you to move there,
yeah.
to spread out.
Again,
I get it, but
10 20% part of, but it's an important the way it's not the worker movement is not important. Is where you move on the map is important, but the worker movement part is 10%, 20% of the game. So from a
yeah,
proper worker movement game, you went again to a
I went south. Okay.
yes.
I'll get back on track. I think I have better
Okay,
games.
but I was expecting you to put this on your list, to be honest, and I have considered it too, but it's the worker movement is not
Yeah,
strong
it's not that
enough
strong.
for
I get
me
it.
to be a proper.
Okay.
But it's a good title which we can highly recommend every time. Let's
We
go
do.
to my number 5. My
Your
number
number five.
5 is a game that we've played on stream last
Wow.
week. Uh,
Oh, what's Walnut Grove?
it's Welcome to Walnut Grove.
So that's why you played it, so you can have it on your top
Yes,
10?
yes. But I would have had it on my top 10 anyways. Um, so this one has worker movement and worker placement at the same time. This one is not let's say the worker movement part is 50-60% of it, but it's a pivotal part of the game. It's a very important part of the game. It drives the game. We have played it wrong, and we have
Well,
to redo the playthrough because
well,
we produced more resources than we should have produced. You should have. We have produced for every spot that we produced a resource. No, it's for every tile of that type that you have, we produce a resource. So, for example, this dude can produce only 3 fish because he has 3 tiles. Which,
oh no.
oh
That
yes,
changes things
yes, a lot,
a lot. It
a
would have
lot.
been way more restrictive. We
Exactly.
just had resources to throw overboard, and we
Yeah,
said, "Oh, I
yeah.
have enough stuff. I don't need barns." Oh
and
man.
and the way that we played it incentivized you to close faster your terrains, but now you won't think about closing your terrains that fast.
Yeah.
So yeah. um, uh,
Okay. I
so
see it's this asks for a redo. Yeah.
redo, yeah. So but the worker movement part, it happens here in the in this part where you will have the game has 8 actions, and you have 8 actions on the main board for the whole game, and that's that. Those 8 actions will make or break your game. This
Really,
worker
really
movement,
tight.
this worker movement movement, it will make or break your game. In a way, it makes the game a tiny bit scripted because I'll probably once get some money. I'll probably once or twice get some money. I'll probably once or twice get some workers. There are a few things that you can balance to your turn if you've played it enough and you understand how the game works.
Yeah.
I really like this game. It's unfortunate that I am not seeing it, but yes.
It's really punishing game. You really need to pay attention to your workforce, what they need food and they need warmth. You need to have those resources. If not, yeah, you're just not good at being
You're there
efficient.
for the ride. Let's go to
Number 4.
number 4, my friend.
Do I dare?
Okay.
So, and this is another interesting, I find interesting way of seeing worker movement from start to finish, which is one big line. We all are
Please
travelers on
tell
this
me this is not
line.
Tokaido.
Yes, it is Tokaido.
Okay.
Let me make my case. So we are all just
Yeah, but it is a worker
we're
movement. It
just
is. It is.
four
It is.
travelers separated or together, doesn't matter. We're just moving from one spot to
It
the
is.
other.
It
It's
is. It is.
reaching. We're stopping at different spots that give us
Yeah.
either
This is a 100% pass. I'm not
okay,
I'm not really a fan, and now that Stonemeyer has it.
okay, but I get it. It's not a game for you, but I've enjoyed every play of it, and it's not it's at the end.
It's a 100% pass from me.
Okay, okay. So you have you know various spaces you can land on. Either you can paint your panorama, you can get souvenirs, you can stop at the inn and have something to eat. It's
A breezy game.
it's a really breezy game. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't feel your brain burning all that much. It's just saying, do I want to go there before someone else? There are spaces that have only one spot and others that have two, so two players can go there. So, the order counts. Getting there before someone else might give you more options for you to choose from. But going slower might get you more stuff. So and this has the same, like
Balance
you
approach.
mentioned the Glenmore, and the last one goes
Yes.
first.
Yes. Yes.
And if people are just going forward like crazy, you just stop everywhere and pick up everything. But usually players don't play like that. So yeah, you just start, you pick a spot where you want to stop, either pay money, get find your somewhere, people on the way. It's been described as therapeutical, or
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
you're having
It's a
a
very breezy game. Yeah.
very zen moment where you
Yes.
just don't get angry. Oh, you went there. Okay, I'll just go in another spot. And yeah,
I think
I do keep on
this.
recommending this game, even though I get tanked by you every time I do.
I mean,
So,
it's not a bad game. I don't know. Did Stonemeyer do any Alla Libertalia stuff to it?
oh, I hope not. I've not seen anything new about it, so I don't think it did they have their own version out?
Yes, they
I don't
have.
know.
Stonemeyer took the license, I think, and they have reprinted it. And I don't know if they did something. I mean, trying to ruin it as they did with Libertalia.
I'm not.
So
I've
hopefully
only
not.
played the
St-
or old version,
yeah,
so I
the
can't
Studio
speak of the
Force,
new
or
one.
I don't know how's it called. Yeah.
So yeah,
Wait,
I do recommend this if you don't want to be in your face, all that competitive. It's a nice light family. Just have fun
I
for
think
an hour.
yeah, I think D would like this game a lot. I don't have it, so but D I think would enjoy this one.
Yeah, it's pretty widely available, so
Yeah,
I do recommend this
if
as
I'd
a
only have time.
different way of. But it is a worker movement game. It
It
is.
is. It is. It is. It is. It
So
is. It is.
this is kind
This
of
is. This is.
90%.
This
So we
is.
kind of
This is
balances
one
the
hundred
other one.
percent. This is 100%. But I still you are. And it's you have two worker movement games in a top 10 until now. So
Okay.
let's go to my number four. My number four is pretty easy. We played it on stream. We've talked a lot about it a lot. The game is Kraftwagen. Your worker is a tire in this game. Uh,
He's
eh,
a cog. He's not a tire.
is a tire, and when where you land your tire, you do those actions. It's so simple. It's terribly simple. But man, every action matters. Man, you can stump on some other player's strategy. And now it has a new coat of paint. Now it looks pretty and it's interesting and it's fun and it works well and it's smooth. And I do have some. I think there were some issues I had with some of the tiles. I think they were too big. I would have preferred it covers the artwork a tiny bit, but there will be a second edition, as far as I know. There will. I had some issue with the rule book, but in the rule book now they have they placed a new rule book on BGG, I believe, and they'll do a second edition, which will be a bit different because we won't have as many cards and so on and so forth. But hopefully they'll do the V6 expansion. This is a great game which needed a reprint and a redo. It also had a small redo, and I think it works well with all the changes that they did mechanically. I think it's available in the US now because Arcane Wonders took it and localized it there, printed in English there. It's in Europe. It's a great game that deserves a lot of attention. It's one of those easy to learn. Be careful what the other players are doing. Works well with three, works well with four. Don't recommend it at two. And have fun with it. Have fun. And all the structural changes that they did, they are small but significant for gameplay and balancing the things that you do during the game. Highly recommend
So
Kraftwagen.
yeah, can
Highly
I
recommend.
have my pet peeve with this one? I think I had this on my list, but I disqualified it because I think of this as a rondel, as I do think of the Glenmore, because you're just
Yeah, but
going in circles, aren't you?
what is the action that drives everything else?
You're just
Place a worker, do the
but you're
actions
not
that.
moving, you're placing a worker. So
No, you're
you're
moving your worker. You cannot take it back. You don't take it into your own
here we go.
area,
Excuses. Okay,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you place it. No, you're just trying to come back from the dead, and you're not trying to get yourself back. You are trying to drag me down there, as a Romanian would do.
Okay.
You want
Okay.
you want my sheep to die too.
I do. But
So
okay,
so this is a
I
worker movement. You move your worker. Yeah, you move it on a rondel. That's true. You do it, but that drives everything in the game onwards.
yeah. Okay, you heard it all. So he's wrong. No, I'm wrong, he's right. Okay, good.
Yes, of course.
Now the big
And
three. Come on.
remember, I have the mute button.
The big
Okay.
three. Okay, so this is, I think you will not be you will have nothing to say about this because you like this game too. You might disqualify it
I've
because
liked a
it's
lot of I liked a lot of your game Concordia. I like that doesn't make it a worker movement game. Okay,
Let's not
Your
dwell
turn.
in the past.
Okay.
Let's see, look into the future. Okay, so mine, and I do consider this a worker movement. And it, to be fair, it's like your Kraftbag and you're just moving in circles, but it's because of an action card that you select. So you have two boards with two workers and four spots. Do you know what this game is?
Two boards, two workers, four spots.
It's the one that has two rondels on it. It's um so this is Crown
So,
of Amara.
oh.
Yeah, can I explain? All right, so you can on your turn you can play three cards, right?
Yes.
Depending on where you place those cards, you have one, two, or three movement.
Yes.
You can choose to choose which
Yes.
either you move on the countryside or in the city. Of course, you need to move on your countryside, gather the resources, and to then go and trade in those resources for various other things like books, housing. I don't know, getting character cards that do ongoing benefits or ongoing effects. Um, but
This is a good
yeah,
pick. I highly agree with this one. And I have to say that this one I missed.
again,
I missed
really?
on this one. Yes. I have
Okay.
forgotten about it. I don't know how I've forgotten about it.
But it is a worker movement
It
because
is, yes. This one, yes. You
I
have
know, I
you.
know, my confidence is way low now.
It is a worker. You have two workers. You have two workers. You have the that moves around in circles. You have workers that move around in circles. It is a worker movement game, yeah. And where you land, you either take certain resources or take or use those resources on the other rondel to do certain actions. And
Yeah,
it is quite a awesome game. i
I
i cannot recommend it enough. Let's go with big. It's good, man. It's good.
yeah, it looks good. It's thinky.
Yep.
It's rewarding when things go your way. It's you have to think ahead and to plan for your actions. It's not going willy-nilly, because
Yeah.
you need to create a chain of reactions, like a specific sequence that will do the best outcome for you. You're not just getting wood and trade it for 1 point. That would be pointless because you have only, I think you
I
go
want these
your
stickers.
deck twice and
Yeah,
that's it. I
that's it.
think
That's the
it's
game.
12
Yeah.
actions. It's that tight. So yeah, you have to balance
I want
your
these
your
stickers. I don't know
populations.
where
Huh?
these stickers are from, but I want those stickers.
I,
If someone is a
well, it
fan of
feels
the
like
show, I can tell us.
they're
Probably, yeah, they're homemade.
homemade.
But I love the way the game looks. I love the aesthetics of it, and I think this one was very close to be on my top 10 boards. It's really cool. Uh,
Yeah, and this is where
eh,
this is kind of the design part, right? Because they have two sides, one that just lets the artwork all in, full saturation, everything on, and then you flip on the other side, it dies down and lets the game breathe more, and you have a proper exposure for the graphic design. I think that's neat choice to have, or
and it has good pieces,
yeah.
and it is an amazing little game, which I don't think it
Yeah,
gets
it
all
does
the
a
love.
lot with not
Yes.
a very big table presence. It's amazing. I'm 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 happy that you're happy.
Uh, yeah. So uh, my number three is a game that I
Well, can I
can.
guess? Do I know
You
it?
you know it, yes. It's a very cool game, and it's still Matthias Kramer. Um, uh,
Glenmore.
Glenmore 2, yes,
Well,
Chronicles.
it's kind of very close to your Krafthagen, isn't it?
Yes, it is very close to. I think I like Glenmore a bit more because it's a tiny bit weightier. One thing, and it does have all that content. So what do you do in this game? Well, you take this worker and you jump and you'll choose a tile. This action drives the whole game.
Yeah.
Your whole turn. Your next turn. What tile do I want to get? It's a simple action in itself. Just take a tile. But do I jump too far? Do I jump as it is with Kraftwagen? But here you have some more things to think about.
And not only you have that path of your worker just going as their own Dell, you have a different board with a map that just
Then I'm getting
trigger.
there.
Oh,
I'm getting there. Here you can start.
I love this game.
Here, but you should have placed it on your list because
Yeah,
this is a proper
disqualified it.
worker movement game. Why is that? Because you have workers here that can move around on your board, which allow you to build, because otherwise you cannot build if you do not have a worker in the area. Also, that will allow you to do certain actions, or I don't know, do a bit more if you know how to move your workers.
Yes.
So this is a worker movement game with a worker movement mechanism of taking a tile and then worker movement on your board. I really like this game. It is. We did a playthrough of it on base game. We did a playthrough
that whiskey made me thirsty.
We did a playthrough of it with the expansion. And I really like that expansion and a few things that are there. Hopefully, we'll be able to do some more. Hopefully, and
There.
sorry for that. I still need some sleep for the past months, and it's a fun game, man. It's a tile layer, one of the best tile layers out there, and this game, I think it has become a classic. Thank God they have taken the old version and they given it a new coat of paint, because that old version was one heck of an uggo.
Yeah.
So that's number 3. Let's go to number 2.
You cannot go wrong with this one. This is my number 0. I've now placed it.
It's not my fault. You are a big juicy idiot.
We recommend this one. It's good. Very
no,
good.
You don't. You're recommending Darwin's Journey and Newton. I'm recommending the good games.
And Lacrimosa.
Yeah, Lacrimosa. Right. Oh yeah, Lacrimosa. So in your mind, in your genius mind, Lacrimosa is a worker movement game, but Glenmore, who has worker movement as the main action selection mechanism, and on your board, is not a worker movement game. The genius that Radu is. Look at it.
Yeah. Okay. You painted quite a picture there. Okay. Number 2.
Okay.
This.
Okay. What is your number 2?
It has to be one of the most. This is why it's high on the list, because it's pretty. All that you do is move on a board, and it has to do with cowboys.
Is it Great Western Trail?
It is Great Western Trail. And
which one? Do you like the Great Western Trail?
I do, and I only played the base game with the one of the expansion that adds more destinations.
Yeah, Rails to North. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. I don't know anything about Argentina or New Zealand. You have played one of those. You probably know better.
I've played El Paso
The cover
also.
is not that exciting, but
This is the old cover. So let's
the
show.
new covers look way better.
Okay,
And
but I like putting this cover on because what the heck was in their heads? Why? What? I mean, it's not. It does not. I do have this version of the game. Um. So yeah, but let's go to the second edition.
it's about the three workers you have, right? The engineer, the cowboy, and the I don't know which one was. The other one is I don't know. Oh, El Paso.
El Paso is the lightest one,
Okay, yeah.
which we have played on the
We
channel. You
played
can
El
find.
Paso,
Yes,
of course, but I
you
do
played it at the
enjoy
festival,
the
right?
big one because it has more stuff. That one is reduced to its bare bones, so it's
Yes,
just
yes.
getting the feel of it. This one, it's a bit meaner, has more stuff that you can do, so
Yeah, I
it's
don't
thinkier.
like this one. I like New Zealand more than I like this one.
Well,
I
if
have
you played it,
Argentina right there, which waits to be put on stream.
yeah,
So yeah, we'll do that.
I think this one really sets the mood, right? These boxes really shows you, gives you a proper introduction to the you know Western
Yes.
movies type like that. So
Uh,
yeah, you're just
yeah.
moving down a path, placing down buildings, activating those buildings.
Put buildings
Uh,
in front of the other players, so you want to take money from them. Then they want to put buildings, so they take their money back, which
yeah,
is it's an added interaction which I don't think is needed.
well,
Uh,
it's a deck builder where you get cattle, where the more variety you have, the bigger the payoff will be at the when you reach the end of the trail.
I
So
don't know. I don't know if uh, um, if Sabine from Lookout looks, but Cimental. This is the value that a Cimental should have, not a zero as it is in El Paso. Here, look, a Cimental has value. In El Paso, it's useless.
I have, and this is, I don't know, it bugs only me. Why are all the cattle running? Can you explain
Uh, because it
I only imagine cows either sitting or grazing, nothing else.
yes, because you grew up in the countryside. But people who draw cows, they think that all the time the cows are running. If
Yeah.
they didn't grow up in the countryside and have not really seen
Yeah.
cows, cows are the most lazy.
Yeah, laid back.
Even when they move so slow. Even
Yeah.
when they on the road, you honk on them and they just move so slow.
Yeah.
So yeah,
They made the cows in Great Western Trail be action heroes.
yeah,
They're just
exactly. The cows.
jumping and running. Anyway,
Uh,
it's
yeah, I agree with you on this one. This was on my list also on my extended list. So this is a pass. So you have 3 games pass.
3 games.
You
Yeah.
might not pass this one, dude. My number 2 is one heck of an ugly game, but is one heck of a great game, which suffers from the fact that it's ugly. It is a game that I'll sing its praises as much as I can. I think it's great. I think that Capstone should do a re-release with new artwork and new
Oh,
components.
Oh, not
Yeah, it's
Lignum.
Lignum. Yeah,
Really?
yes.
Oh man.
So what do you do in this game? Well, you mainly let me find a. The graphic design is prototypish. I mean, it
Ooh.
looks like a prototype. It's awful. It's ugly. It's terribly ugly. We
When
can do
did
better.
let's figure this out. When was this released?
2015. It's still ugly.
Okay, so
Even for
this is
2015, is still ugly.
almost 10 years old. I think it requires.
Yeah, if
A,
I mean this looks like in today's standards, it's it's an underdeveloped prototype.
mm,
So what do you do in this game? So you will have a worker where you're gonna have a path, and the supply path, which you can, as you can see, it has a name here, and it has an arrow that points you like you're an idiot and you don't know that you should take that. I mean, who made the graphic design? And the artwork is not all that bad, but the graphic design is awful. He should learn how to do graphic design because it ruins a game that I think is amazing otherwise.
yeah.
It is very good as a game. I mean, you
This is why you should go with a professional.
and so what do? You go on this path and you stop at locations and get whatever you need. This is the first part of your round, and after that you move on your player board and you start moving workers with with the merchandise in order to make it better. Yeah, to make, let me see, let me find, yeah, then you move here and then you, with your workers, you start moving, um uh, from you move the wood that you have just cut, you have to move it and take it to the sawmill, and here you refine it in order to sell it or transform it in points one way or the other. Sell it, or anyway, sell it for money, and with those money you make other stuff. This is a very good game. It is a very good game, which unfortunately has its perks with its graphics. I think it's one of the one great Euro game that needs a forward planning. You need to. It's one of those games where, oh man, I should have taken one more cutter. I should have taken one more of these. I didn't plan correctly. I love it. It's so good, and it gives me so much satisfaction playing it. Uh, but having in front of me, I mean, it's I can make a yeah, but I won't. Let's go to number ones.
Yeah, no, this has incredible potential. Just like if you imagine Brass, the first version, it was
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
ugly beyond
exactly.
belief, and then they've got with this, very very presentable,
Yeah.
and
So
it's number one on
if
GT Morgan Geek.
yeah, yeah. So if you are a I don't know. If you like what we do here, spread the words. Maybe we can get this game reprinted with a new artwork.
Yeah, I'll
There
talk to
were
Capstone.
plans. Yeah.
I want this jump.
Yes. So that was number two. Let's go to number one,
Yeah, let's
Mister.
go to number ones. I mean, I have to say I started this list with this game in mind.
Okay.
And no matter what you say, this is, if you have five children, this is the one you prefer.
You
You
love.
don't say that out loud, but yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
So this is a game I want to enjoy. I outward go out of my way to like this game no matter what, even though it's rudely overlooked. So I think I've talked about this game before, and you have not played this one. So this is Richard the Lionheart.
No, I have not played this one, so I don't know if it's.
I truly I adore is kind of a big word, but it's on my it. I'm always
Do you
willing to
have a
play
worker
this
and you
one.
move it on the board?
Yeah, yeah. You have workers
Uh huh.
on a big map, and you have certain
Is
spots
this
that you just go from city to city, activating what's on underneath.
is this a how is it, a finished game? You play it once and that's it.
What do you mean a finished game?
Not the legacy. It's the legacy game. You finished once and that's it, or it's a game that you can play and replay.
It's no,
Oh,
it's a game we can play, and this has suffers from
so
trying to do everything at
okay,
once. It can be competitive, it can be cooperative and still be competitive. So it's a semi co-op if you have an even number of players. So if four, you just divide them into two groups. Out of the two groups, the winning team will have a final victor, right? For
okay. I,
having more points.
one thing. You keep talking. I'll be back in 10 seconds.
Okay, I'll keep on
Yeah, yeah.
talking about this game.
Please
So this
talk
game
about it.
is has an amazing production. It's kind of overlooked by the big board game community. I don't know why, because the production is outstanding. You have minis for everything. Your player board has a character that kind of brings to life the essence of what it's trying to convey. So you are part of the red team, which is the King Prince John, and the green team, which is I think Richard Lionheart. We have your typical Robin Hood, Lady Marion, and Lil Jon, Will Scarlet, and the other ones. The red, you have the Prince John. You have your which one? It's Sheriff of Nottingham and all that. If you like this lore, this legend, I think it's a title worth going into. So the worker movement aspect of it, just move. You choose 1 to 3 movement on the main board. Where you land, you get the benefit. So out of the few actions that you have, the main thing that triggers the end of the game is one of those 4 tracks, which has overproduced minis for just being there, just moving up and down the track, but they're so satisfying to look at.
Yeah, I've not
So
played this one, and you talked about it a lot.
I enjoyed it.
Do you think it's up on
I
my
enjoyed it
alley?
this much because I've created this list, and yesterday evening I started playing this game.
I see.
This is how much, and I said to my son, "Let's play this game now, or you'll be grounded." this, this is how I do things around here.
Okay.
I do recommend this, highly recommend this. I think it's not nobody speaks about it, so I'll be the good spokesman, and I
Okay.
think
The
this is what
apostle.
a
You'll be the
great
apostle. I have not
great.
played it. I have no idea if it's a worker movement or not.
Well,
But
you are moving on that map, aren't you?
okay. And you
Yeah.
take actions. I don't know who published it. Maybe we can get the copy. Who knows?
I have no, it's on the table, but I
Okay.
think it's Spaghetti Western and Z-Man.
Oh, so
If
it's an older title.
it
Harder
is
to
an auto title, and it's worth everything. If you like the lore and the presentation, as I've said it, and
Okay.
this is what a good table presence doesn't matter if all the if it's doesn't sing that well, right? But
Okay.
it is quite a looker.
Let's go
Yeah.
to my number one. My number one, I think you might know it. You have one worker, you move it, you do an action. Then you might move it to another spot and do that action. And then do another one. And the sequence of the movement is very important because this is what declares the efficiency of your actions. And this is a game about full efficiency, and this is a game about Japanese efficiency, about being as efficient as you can in your workflow. The game is called Kanban EV. Uh,
I have not played this one.
You have not played this one, and you should play it. So it's one I think is up to date for me. I think it's Vital Serda's best game. Um,
Big
it
screen.
it flows so well. It hides its weight pretty well as Lisboa does. I have not played Lisboa in a while. This one I've played. The EV version. Sorry. The EV version. Yeah, EVs. Not a big fan. Um, but it's still it looks good. It looks very septic, like EV is, um, and it's just good. It's just satisfying. It's just fun. It's just a pleasure to look at. Eh, um, as I said, it plays well. It works well. It's one of the, and it's not a worker placement game. It's a worker movement game because you do not place your workers and take them back. You you place your worker on another spot, and the way you, I don't know here, uh, if I remember correctly, the order is, I think, is from top to bottom, left to right in the original game. So where you place your worker, might depend where you're going to move him next round, because next round it's going to be if Sandra might come there and block a space, or so it's important. Your chain of actions is so important that sometimes also you want to move to a spot that has three actions, but that spot with three actions will close your chaining for the next round. So your chain for the next round. So it's good. It's really good. It's fun. I think it's one of the faster Lacerdas, and I mean, it has absolutely no bloat. It has absolutely um no no extra weight, no nothing. It's the perfect distillation of what the game sets out to do, especially for a weight like this. Pretty good. My number one is Kanban. And this is why Kanban was not in my top 10 worker placement games, because it's not the worker. Yeah, in the end, worker movement can be seen as a worker placement, but let's close the TVs. But you can, in a worker movement game, you cannot go to the same spot that you went the last round. You need to go to another spot and then go to another. This is why it's a worker movement. On the worker placement game, I take my workers back, and then nothing is blocked.
Right.
If I'm first, I'll take the same action if I want to. So this is what defines worker movement for me. It's in the end, you start chaining your actions in an algorithm with just usually one worker. Usually it's one worker. So this was our top 10. We kind of I think we've thought. I will. Do you have any honorable mentions?
No, not really. I
have. This was a hard one for me to do. I have the Great Western Trail. I have the Colonists. I have Maracaibo. I have a bit of Voyages of Marco Polo and Darwin's Journey, which in the end I said, yeah, it is a part of it, but it's not really driven by it. Thebes is a worker movement game which is quite fun. I don't know if you've played it. Escape Plan Stroganov is one heck of a good game, plagued
Yeah.
by its production. Um, what else? Weather Machine is in the same ballpark with Kanban, but for me Kanban is king. Um, Septima has a part of worker movement in a way because you move that worker on the board and then you gather resources that you can use. Schichtwechsel is a game where you place your worker from and you're going from one step to the other in order to do certain actions. But this is a game that probably I am the only one who put it on stream and played it on stream, and I think it's a great little game which is again let down by its artwork and graphics and so on. Um, yeah, this was not an easy Squaring Circleville is also a title I just give where you move that worker and then there you start building, rebuilding, and so on and so forth. But again, that is let's say that's 50%. That doesn't the driving of it's a rondel action, which is really cool. Yeah, I think there are enough of these games these days to make that I said it was not easy for me to do it, but because I've played a lot of these games and I'm quite happy. Concordia was there, but on the extended list, but it couldn't in the end get the top 10, not even top 15 because I told you why. In the way I could do, in the way you can, I don't know, make Navegador a worker movement because they're rondel and you move. You can make, you could make 5 tribes because they're not your workers, but you take a bunch of workers and you move them on the board and leave them somewhere, and then you could do the same with Trajan. But those are there's a different mechanism there, so I didn't want to riff on it. I wanted to be as efficient as I could with the picks. I hope there were good picks. I hope people will enjoy it. We talked a bit about it. I'd say let's end it here because I think I have completely invalidated your list. So I don't think I think you're at 4 out of 10.
Yeah. So you have 14 games where you're going to pick from.
Yes. You do, but you also have 20 good games that you could pick from and enjoy the worker movement part in each game where it is. Dude, you want to say something at the end so we can close it?
Yeah, I think I'm staying with your. It's bugging me that I did not include
Glenmore.
Chronicles. Such a perfect spot for this top 10.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this, even though I'm clearly not the man for the job. But yeah, this is what you invite your friends and your family in jobs that they're not suited for. All right, so thank you for viewing. We're getting there, almost at the medieval landmark at 500.
Oh yes, please subscribe, subscribe. Yes, we need to go to the 500s. Yes, in the 500s.
We are working, moving in so many ways for this to.
I would like to have 1,000. I would like to have 1,000 till Essen, but it's so hard, man. If you don't.
Yeah, it doesn't rain.
It doesn't rain on my parade. Okay.
But we do this and we'll keep on doing this, and hopefully we'll enjoy our next top 10, which will be invalidated by you. So
hopefully not.
Until next time.
It's going
I
to
see.
be probably the next one is going to be expansions. So top 10 expansions because it was asked for,
Yeah.
so we'll have to do it.
Another easy one
Yes,
from 100 to pick from.
yes. So this was our top 10. I'll say goodbye to you right now. I'll end it up here. As always, I would like to thank anyone who came and watched live. I'll thank anyone who come and watch after the fact. If you like what you see, please like, comment, subscribe. As Mr. Monkey says, smash that subscribe button. Listen to Mr. Monkey. And until next time. And now, if you enjoy, comment something or say your picks are wrong, or you could say that about Radu's list. And until next time, what it says there: play a lot, play loads, as you Brits say. Have fun, and bye bye, fine folks, wherever in the world you are.